We here at Bit Harmony pride ourselves on making what is undoubtedly the best video game music podcast hosted by two emotionally stunted shorties in the universe. We work our fingers to the brittle bone to bring you this show you love. Frankly, we probably work too hard, as evidenced by our ability to embark on a half-hour tangent on Netflix reality shows in the middle of a Donkey Kong Country 2 episode. For absolutely no reason. That's just how much we care about consistency, vision, synergy, and market surplus. With that in mind, we also know how to play and have decided to absolutely coast by this summer. For the entirety of July and August, we're proud to deliver unto you our Summer of Nintendo, in which we find ways to do less work than ever while talking about games we're already strongly familiar with. We've even recruited a couple special guest co-hosts this season to really underline the degree to which we've given up on ourselves, forcing friends and family to pick up our slack. And that's not all. Each episode of Bit Harmony this summer will also be paired with a mini-episode, exclusively to people who support us on Patreon at the $5 or higher tier. That's right, not only are we lazy, we demand to be paid and bottled. Continuing on in Bit Harmony's Summer of Nintendo programming block, Seth is joined by his friend JB to educate us all on the merits of Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg, the oft-overlooked GameCube classic from Sega and Sonic Team, with a soundtrack like no other.
You're listening to Bit Harmony, a video game music podcast. I'm Seth, and guys, we finally did it. We finally ran Matt off. He said, I'm sick of this. I can't listen to Seth cry about Tetris Effect or whatever the hell. I can't listen to it for one more second. I'm out. So for this very special episode on Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg, I've got a very special guest with me. Only the second ever guest ever on the show. JB, welcome to the show, dude.
I didn't realize that I was the second guest. I didn't realize that. Okay, now I feel special, you know?
You are special. We literally have never had... So, Matt's wife, Tosh, has been on a couple times. But other than that, we've never had a guest. So you're the second ever guest ever on the show.
Okay, I'm here for it. I love it. I'm here for it. Thank you for having me.
No, thanks for agreeing to do it. We've been talking about doing something with this game for like 2 years, I think now.
Yeah.
So
yeah, somewhere
I don't
there.
even remember how it came up. I just remember you mentioned it. I was like, oh, we gotta talk about Billy Hatcher at some point, JB.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking about it. I don't remember when either one of us would have brought it up. It may have been like, I feel like maybe an episode of like Nintendo Drive. Somebody brought something up about like, oh, GameCube games, and I was like, oh yeah, Billy Hatcher. And then it just kind of rolled from there. I don't remember. I have no idea.
Yeah, me either. I'm sure we have a lot to get into here today, so we're going to get into it. But first, let's get into our intro song for this episode before we get too far deep down the rabbit hole. Our intro this episode is called Bang Bang Big Horns Explosion. This game, Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg, that we're talking about today, was composed by Mariko Nanba and Tomoya Ohtani, and we will be right back. And that was Bang Bang Big Horns Explosion by Mariko, Nanba, and Tomoya Ohtani. So JB, this is, first time we've had guests on the show. I I had to give you like a list of essentially like homework. Like, so this is what we do. We take notes on the songs and everything. So tell me what your thoughts are on this song, our intro song this episode.
Firstly, I do want to say homework is a derogatory word. So this wasn't homework. This was definitely like, I loved doing this because I already listened to the soundtrack for this like almost on a day-to-day basis as is. I'll just randomly be like, okay, this is my feel-good music. Like it really is.
Yeah.
But Bang Bang Big Horns Explosion it's funny because I'll say it's not like my favorite world, but the song is so fire. Listening to it again, like really listening in depth, I've come to the conclusion that it is kind of like a big band jazz song meets like drum and bass meeting like 70s rock and roll. Because I was listening to it and I was like really listening to the drum loop, and I was like, no, this is like that. I was like, oh, I never even peeped it ahead of, like beforehand. I was just really just vibing to it, but it's such a good song. The horns, I mean, obviously, dude. Again, horn explosion, like it's such like, and everything feels so full, so luscious, like the way that everything is sounding. One thing I did note as well as I was listening to it is that the hits in the song like low-key reminded me of Smash Bros. The 64. The like and I didn't peep that until I listened to it again. Bass line is hard. I love it. Again, I can't remember which one is a bassist, but you can again definitely tell like he loves that bass, and the saxophone solo on this is just, oh my goodness, it's just so it's hard to explain it. It's just one of those things where it just feels your soul, you know what I'm saying?
It's funny, like our notes are so similar. Like I definitely was gonna highlight that sax solo around 155. It just starts really going crazy. The bass line is just so damn funky in this, and we're gonna later in the episode we'll talk about the composers, but one of them, Ohtani specifically, is like a bassist, and so the bass throughout the entire soundtrack is just insane.
It's insane.
It's crazy, and you can really tell like it's very highlighted on this whole soundtrack. But for me, I could not resist the urge to open the episode with a song with a big horn focus. Horns are a big part of the DNA of this show, so I had to do that. And it's funny. I didn't make the Smash Brothers draw, but now that you say that, that completely tracks. Like that makes perfect sense.
It reminds me so much of it, and I was just like listening. I listened to it today, and I made that conclusion. I was like, oh, like it's kind of the same, like
totally.
And I was like, oh, okay, that's really cool. So.
You're spot on. Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like. I was trying to place it because I was thinking about like the things that was making me think of just in general is like other Sega games. Like I was thinking about Jet Set Radio and like, like Jet Set Radio Future has like some Latch Brothers remixes in it and stuff. And they'll sometimes use little stabs like that. And it was making me think of that. But no, the Smash Bros. That is a perfectly observed comparison. That makes perfect sense. Yeah, well, JB, before we get into like housekeeping and stuff like this, here at the beginning, I want to give you a chance to tell people a little bit about yourself and your music, because you're a musician yourself. Tell the people a little bit about yourself before we kick things off properly here.
Okay. Hello, my name is JV. Also go by PME on most streaming platforms and stuff like that. A music producer. I've been producing since 2018. Started taking it seriously in 2019. Always say that because I can never do the math quick enough to be like, it's this many years. But I've been producing for that long. I grew up in the church, like just singing and stuff. So like music has always been like in my life, It's always been something that's just been around and stuff like that. But I will say one thing I don't normally mention when I talk about like inspiration and just like me making music and like another way of me falling in love with music was through video games. Again, I grew up playing Billy Hatcher, Kingdom Hearts, Super Monkey Ball, like bunch of Sonic games and stuff like that. And it's funny because with the music inspiration in there, I at one point I was trying to hide it. Funny enough, I was like, okay, I'm gonna make the music and stuff like that, but I kind of don't want it to be like too obvious that I'm like a big ass nerd, you know?
Yeah.
But it was funny. I entered this like beat contest, and it's funny. I'm cool with the guy now who was running it, but they kind of coined a term for me. They was like, Jonathan, like you make video game soul, like that's kind of the thing that you do. And I was like, huh, like, and then I really went back and listened to all my stuff, and I was like, wow, that is kind of the like route that I go. Like I do kind of structure my songs, and I like have this kind of flow, and like the way that I stack my instruments, and I like even build chords out and stuff like that is very video game-esque, and I never realized it. And I feel like tracks like soundtracks like the Billy Hatcher one, Sonic 06 is another one that I really love. Again, Kingdom Hearts 2, specifically Kingdom Hearts 2. It's just something that I didn't realize I did, but I guess it's just like it was embedded in my DNA at a young age, you know.
Yeah, dude.
So yeah, but I like I said, I've been making music for a while. You know, mainly in the like hip hop R&B space, but I do make a lot of I make whatever wherever the wind takes me. Really, I've made not EDM tracks, but like drum and bass tracks, jungle tracks, freaking future bass tracks. I've made jazz tracks, synthwave, retro wave. Like I've done a lot of stuff. So yeah, but I love music. I love video games. That's just kind of my forte, you know? So
yeah, I know I got to get GB on this show at some point, man. We gotta. It was a match made in heaven. It made perfect sense.
100%.
I'll make sure to have full links to all your stuff in the show notes. People can check you out. And hey, on your latest album, Me, Myself, and I, you might even hear a familiar voice on there. Yeah, if you want to check that out.
Yeah, go listen to Me, Myself, I Deluxe. Like it's a really good album. I'm proud of it, you know. And yeah, you'll hear a real familiar voice on the last track. So don't skip to the last track. Start from the beginning and go all the way to the last
whole
track.
thing.
Yeah, and then you'll get there. You'll get the surprise at the end, you know.
You'll get a little surprise there at the end. Yeah. Well, cool, man. We'll make sure people check out your stuff. A little bit of general housekeeping here, just to get into it. I want to thank a couple of new patrons who jumped over on patreon.com/allamedia. Stephen Keller joined the Golden Banana tier. Really appreciate you for doing that. And shout outs to Old Drake, who also upgraded to Golden Banana tier since the last episode. I really appreciate y'all genuinely for doing that. The support means a lot. And hey, those people now get access to the exclusive mini episodes that we're doing during the Summer of Nintendo. So a quick recap of our Summer of Nintendo event. We did WarioWare, then we did a mini on Wario Land 4 for Patreon. Then Matt and his wife did Xenoblade Chronicles X, and then we did a mini on Elebits. And now we're doing Billy Hatcher with me and JB, and then next week we're going to do a mini on Kickle Cubicle. And then on August 24th, Matt and I are back to do Donkey Kong Bonanza, and then we're closing out with a mini on Mario Party, the original one for N64. So people of the Golden Banana Tier Plus get access to those exclusive minis, and we appreciate y'all for doing that, man. So that's just a quick little bit of housekeeping there. We are going to be skipping, and Matt did this on the last episode too, but the Sean Capri Presents the State of the Nintendo Music Address segment. When Matt and I come back for DK on August 24th, we're just going to cover everything. It's going to be an absolute disaster. So we'll see how that goes for us. We're going to have probably like 6 songs to cover, or 6 drops to cover, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. However, we do have an exciting new segment that we debuted on the last one called "What Would King Dedede Order at Chili's?" So
I want you to know it's really funny because when you first sent me the show notes, the link wasn't there. So I find it really funny that you had to add the link later on.
I was like, let me, for JB's convenience, let me throw the link in here for JB to have the Chili's menu to consult here. So a little bit of context for you, JB.
Okay.
And I'm sure Matt's already put in like the soundbite or whatever by now, but we have, a voicemail inbox that people can call into. We have, and we'll get to some voicemails a little bit later. But if you text the voicemail, we play it through like an AI voice, like a robot voice or whatever. We call it bot harmony.
Okay.
And so somebody texted the voicemail saying, "What would King Dedede order at Chili's?" So we're gonna take a look here at the Chili's menu and determine what we think King Dedede would order. And so I put the link in there for you if you want to pull it up and peruse the Chili's menu.
I am looking at the Chili's menu to see what I believe he would order. I have an idea. Like, I have one thing on my mind, but I want to see if I could find anything else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm looking at it too, and I mean, like, it's a pretty extensive. I don't think I've eaten at a Chili's in probably 15 years.
I think it's funny because I actually went to Chili's not too long ago because my little brother really wanted to go. So I was just like, okay, sure, we can just get it and go. Like, we can get it to go. We didn't eat there, you know?
Yeah, at the restaurant. I do want to call something out. This is kind of funny. Okay. I'm at their, like, the salads and soups portion, and I find it funny that, like, most of the menu has, like, a fancy, like, Santa Fe Crispers salad or quesadilla explosion, and then just bowl of soup
and then cup of soup right beside it.
Just like, there's no fancy title, there's no description, just bowl of
just
soup.
Straight bowl of soup. Hey, it's a bowl of soup.
yeah. So I don't know, like, do we want to go, what do you think, like do you want to do like an appetizer, a main, a dessert, like
do that. We could
do the whole
that.
meal?
Yeah.
What do they got here for these appetizers?
I feel like if we're going appetizer straight off the bat, I think King Dedede is getting a triple dipper. There's no question about that. You know?
It's like a combo. Like, it's got like sliders, the Southwest egg rolls.
Yeah, exactly. And then you get the little chicken crispers too. And you can customize it, so he doesn't have to get that exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like
customize it.
Yeah, I think you can get like the mozzarella sticks as well if you wanted to. Or that's definitely, he's a triple dipper guy.
Yeah, I would agree with that for sure. I'll be honest though, like, I look at some of the main options and I'm like, is there any way King Dedede's not just getting a full rack of ribs?
That's he probably is. Like, I feel like that's the biggest thing on it's just a rack of ribs. That's all he really, it's not gonna say that's all he needs, because he definitely wants more than that.
Yeah, God. It's like 2,200
calories. I was oh my God, I was trying to find it. Jesus Christ.
For that full rack of ribs,
my
dude,
God.
You're putting down 2,200 calories, dude.
Golly.
That rules.
That's the whole damn pig at that point. Shit.
Yeah, that's the whole pig right there. Yeah, and it looks like you can have like two sides with it too. So he's probably doing that whole shebang. I feel when it comes to King Dedede, I feel like he just goes big. Like any
whatever the biggest thing is, he's gonna want that. Like, there's no doubt about it. Whatever the most amount of food he can get is gonna be.
He's not ordering the 620 calorie ancho salmon.
No,
he's not.
No.
He's not going to the.
Not even looking
grill.
at it. Hell no. No, he's not doing that. Not at all. That's hilarious. That's funny as hell.
Yeah, he's not doing that. So okay, if we agree on that, maybe, do you think he would order a drink? Like, do you think he would get some alcohol?
See, and I'm not gonna lie, that Don Julio margarita was the first thing I looked at. I was like, Dedede looks like a Don Julio type of guy, you know?
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, he looks like a Don Julio type of guy.
Wow, some of these, I'm not a, go to Chili's and order a drink kind of guy, but some of these do look good. I'm not going to lie to you.
Hey, man, I'll be sipping. I usually go for the tequila or something like that, but I definitely be sipping. I'll be sipping.
Oh, I don't know. I wonder if there's some, are you seeing any, like regional items on yours? Because like I live in Texas, so I'm seeing like a Deep Eddy strawberry Texas lemonade.
Oh yeah, no. Is that under the to go alcohol or?
Yeah.
No. I have a Shark Attack margarita.
I got that too. Yeah,
that's the only thing I have. I don't have anything. Well, hold on. Maybe I need a. Hold on. We gotta. Let me put my zip code in real quick. Give me a second. Let me put the zip code in. We gotta.
It might be. I don't know if it's like automatically tracking my location or so. That's kind of concerning. I definitely didn't enter in a zip code.
Now I gotta go to. Wow, way more stuff definitely opened up for me. I'll say that much. No, way more stuff opened up.
Some of these are looking good.
Along with a gallon of strawberry lemonade. That's not even like liquor. It's just a gallon of lemonade.
You can just get a gallon of lemonade if you want. Yeah. Yeah, I'm seeing some of this stuff. I think that the Don Julio makes a lot of sense. It looks like it's a pretty simple, like kind of to-go margarita. It looks like it has like some orange in it. Yeah. So that makes a lot of sense to me. I only see 3 desserts. I don't know if you have any more desserts than I do. I have 3 here.
I had the peanut butter pie, the skillet chocolate chip cookie, and the molten chocolate lava cake. Yeah.
I'll say this. I feel like the molten chocolate lava cake, like that looks like it could be like a pickup in a Kirby game. Like
I was thinking that. I was definitely thinking that.
Yep. Okay. Do we feel comfortable with that then?
I feel confident in this order. We're placing this, right? We're gonna place this right now. Okay.
Yep. So Triple Dipper is his appetizer. He does the full rack of ribs combo for his entree. He does the Don Julio Marg, and he does the molten chocolate lava cake for his dessert.
Yeah. So that sounds about right to me.
Yeah, that sounds about right to me.
That sounds about right to me. Yeah.
I feel confident with that. Okay. Very good. JB, thank you for helping me determine what King Dedede would order at Chili's.
Of course. I am honored. Do I think he'll be satisfied? No, he's doing round 2. Yeah. But we got him there. We got him
started.
Yeah, we got him started.
That course is his appetizer.
Exactly.
After all.
And then God knows where he's going next.
Yeah, who knows?
Going to Red Robin next. I don't know.
You get a couple of those Don Julio Margs in you. You never know.
You don't know what he's gonna eat. He may eat the building. I don't know.
Yeah, you never know where the rest of the night's gonna take you. Okay. Well, with all of that out of the way, let's take another break. Let's properly kind of get into things here with Billy Hatcher. We're gonna take a break here for 2 songs. One of these. So with our breaks this episode, I asked you like if there were any must-haves for you, and you gave me a few, and I basically like did a pairing of like one of JB's picks, and then I paired it with a pick of my own. So for this one, we're doing The Beginning of Adventure and Tumbling Xylophone, and we'll be back. and that was The Beginning of Adventure and Tumbling Xylophone. So JB, The Beginning of Adventure was one of your picks. So what do you got for me? Tell me about this song.
I think, in my opinion, this is like one of the perfect starting songs in a video game.
Yeah.
Like first world, like this really puts the vibe of the entire game in motion to me. It's a really fun, just upbeat track. Something again, like it's an earworm. It just really like drills in there, and like something like you'll step away from it and you'll still just like kind of be bobbing your head to. You're like, oh yeah, like you just kind of remember it. Something, and I'm saying this now because I'm definitely going to say it again later, that I've noticed with a lot of these tracks is that they all have like small drum breaks in them. And the small drum break in this one is just so satisfying. It's the same with all of them. I love it so much, and I've always loved like the random use of like effects, little like random little sound effects and stuff like that.
Yeah, little samples.
Yeah, I love that. Something that I'm actually, crazy enough, I was thinking about using in my own music not too long ago. But yeah, no, it's just so fun, and those little sounds also end up creating like these other small little pockets of rhythm that create like new little different like drum patterns that you can end up finding as you're listening to the track. I love it.
Yeah, that's a good point, because this is an interesting song, because like it's a really like eases you into the adventure and everything, kind of like this kind of gentle groove to it, this like chill kind of like flute lead melody, but the rhythm is like this acoustic guitar, just very kind of like cozy, nostalgic, kind of vibes. But then the percussion of it is like borderline D&B like coded.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of crazy.
It's so fire.
Yeah, like the drums in general and the whole soundtrack are pretty wild too. It's a very percussive soundtrack. And yeah, I also notated round 106 that little kind of breakdown that kind of goes into the end of the song. I really liked that too. Yeah, it's good stuff,
amazing, man. It's great.
Yeah, it really is the perfect, like, because I was thinking about kind of what songs to kind of like add in here, I probably spent 2 hours like agonizing over the track list here. I did consider putting in the classic theme, the G-I, it sounds like they're saying G-I-N-T.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, it took me a while to really hear the A. Like it took me a second.
Yeah. It's weird, right? It kind of sounds like they're saying like G-I-N-T.
Yeah, I think that's what they're doing. I think it's G-I-A-N-T E-E-G. And I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Like, oh my gosh, it's so funny. These little Japanese kids have no idea what they're saying. They're just
yeah. I thought about tossing that in there. I was like, let me go for something different. And this track that you put up, literally the beginning of Adventure. I'm like, well, that makes perfect sense then. Okay, so what do you got for Tumbling Xylophone then? Tell me about this one.
Again, drum fills are amazing in this one. I love it. And another reason that I love this song so much as well is just because I truthfully cannot think of another song just in general that like the xylophone is the main instrument in it. And I think that makes it so it makes it so like interesting and so unique to it. Because again, I can't really name any song that's like, okay, you think of a xylophone. Like I feel like you have songs where like, okay, you think of a very specific instrument and you think of a specific song. When I think of a xylophone, this is the first thing I think of. Think of that.
So
and again, it sounds like a tumbling xylophone. Like even the name of the track really alludes to like how the track feels rhythmically and stuff like that. The 4 on the floor with the drum pattern was something that I didn't notice until like listening to it again. I was like, oh no, this is like, that 4 on the floor is kind of like disco coded a little bit, but
yeah,
I love this track. I love it. And I was gonna wait to say it until later, but something that I do love about this entire soundtrack is that a lot of the songs connect to each other. And I don't know if you picked that up or not, or if, anything like that. But a lot of the like day and night songs, actually, like if you listen to the night song first and the day song immediately after, they connect. And I've always loved that about this soundtrack. That's actually one of the reasons that it's one of my favorites. It's just because you listen to these tracks and stuff like that. Again, day and night, boom, boom. And the use of the same instruments, but to create an entirely brand new like vibe and completely different energy with it. It's just so amazing how you can really do that. Same instruments, same like percussion, same drums and stuff like that. But it's like, no, completely different vibes. Like, well, not completely different, but like similar vibes with different feeling, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like the structure of the game. I'll break this down here in just a little bit more deeply. But you go into these worlds, and yeah, it starts off. The first mission's always like a night mission, and you get one song. And then you kind of, you know, like turn the rest of you bring the day back to the world, and then you get like a totally different song. But you're right, it's like taking the same instrumentation and giving it a totally different vibe. Yeah, it's very cool. It's a very cool effect. Yeah, it's this one. I agree. Like one of the things that I really kind of like notated with this was, I don't know if I can think of any other song where the xylophone is like so front and center.
Yeah.
It's like so like that's what the song is. Like this dude just, I gotta imagine when they're performing it, they're just going crazy on the xylophone.
Oh my gosh. At this point, he might as well just like throw the stick at it and just let it land where it lands.
Just let it fall where it it does. It literally feels like a tumbling xylophone. That's the perfect, like that just kind of like, just the way it's building. It's just going crazy. And so I love that about it, you know, very interesting. I like the kind of whistle. The whistle comes up a bunch throughout this soundtrack, you know, which I think gives it kind of a laid back, like easygoing, you know, kind of vibe. And also I think that xylophone is very like childlike, right? Like it's very kid coded, and you know Billy Hatcher and his friends, they're kids, right?
Yeah, literally.
They're literally kids. So like it feels like, I don't know, like it feels like a kid's adventure, very bouncy, very fun, you know. And honestly, like it's a pretty simple song until you get that break that you're talking about, and that kind of bridge like makes it more complicated. You know, like it fills out the song coming into the end of the track, and I love it. It's really, really good stuff.
And one thing I will say too, you talking about the bridge, I the other day I was listening to it because I ended up making like a little listening guide on Spotify just so I can like listen to the tracks and stuff. I was trying to remember what the name of the damn instrument was. The breakdown that you're talking about, the accordion on there, I just thought that was also another very interesting choice for, you know, to have that. So like, again, what other songs do you know have a xylophone and an accordion like
it's
together,
weird.
Like kind of going back and forth on it and stuff. So it's great. It's great.
I love that. Like anytime we can get like some weird instrumentation that is like, playing with, you know, like sounds that you're not used to, but still making it feel like melodically cohesive, like something that is still hummable.
Exactly.
You know?
Like it's a real art form to be able to be like, okay, we're gonna take these non-traditional instruments, these instruments that you don't normally hear in like modern music in general. Like you don't really hear these instruments out there. We're gonna make these like the focus of it. They're not gonna be like counter melodies. They're not gonna be like, oh, little like accent marks. It's like, no, we're gonna make this the full song is going to be this specific instrument. This is the lead, you know.
Yeah, very, very cool, man. There's some really neat stuff happening here. Okay, well, I mean, let's talk about the game itself properly here. Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg. I got the tail of the tape here. The game was published by Sega, developed by Sonic Team. They really want to make sure that you know it's developed by Sonic Team. It's really like on the box art.
On the box, literally.
I mean, Billy Hatcher is kind of doing the Sonic Adventure pose on the box.
If you really look at it, it's very wow. I never peeped that until you just said it. Wow. Okay, no, he kind of is.
He's doing the Sonic Adventure pose almost explicitly.
Out my like copy of it, and I was like, oh no, he really is doing like the Sonic Adventure pose, huh?
Yeah, he's kind of even like he doesn't really look like that in the game. Like that cover art makes him look a little like edgier
Yeah,
than
I was
he
just about to
really
say.
is.
Yeah, no, it definitely makes him look way more edgier, way more like cooler, if that makes it. Like
Right.
he's cool in the game too, but like this definitely is like the ooh yeah, cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this is the rad Billy Hatcher. Yeah, you gotta. It's a very eye-catching cover, and then they have like a little splash there that says like, you know,
from the
like,
creator of Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah,
yeah, they really want you to know that. And this was, of course, released exclusively for the Nintendo GameCube. North American release date was September 23rd, 2003. The game was produced by Yuji Naka, who is, again, the co-creator of Sonic the Hedgehog and the studio head of Sonic Team at this time. It was directed by Shun Nakamura. And this is interesting. I kind of looked in, I was doing some research on the director, Nakamura. He's been with Sonic Team since the mid-90s. He's still there today. But he's actually only directed a small handful of games. Like now he does like producer, like oversight kind of roles, but he directed Samba de Amigo, another game that I love, Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg, Sonic 2006, which you name dropped earlier.
the game I love. I don't care what anybody says.
That. No, look, I like that game too. I wish that's the one I'm like, y'all need to do a full remaster of that.
Yeah,
do a
100%.
Sonic 06 remaster.
Please.
That's a great soundtrack. And then another game I love for the 3DS, Rhythm Thief and the Emperor's Treasure. Have you ever played that?
I haven't. I haven't played it, but I believe I do have the digital one on my 2DS. I believe
That game
so.
rules.
Yeah, I've definitely been wanting to get to it, but I've heard a couple tracks from it for sure. Amazing soundtrack. I love rhythm
It's
games.
great.
So.
Yes, I would actually love to do a Rhythm Thief episode of Bit Harmony at some point down the line. I love that game, and I was like, whoa, like this dude, you know, he's only directed a few games, and one of them is Rhythm Thief on the 3D.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Random pull, but like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I see you, Nakamura. Okay. So this is kind of like a weird, this early 2000s place for people who might not know. Sega used to be a console manufacturer. They made like the, you know, Dreamcast and all this stuff, and Saturn, and, you know, at a certain point the Dreamcast was the last console they made. They, you know, announced that they were gonna kind of discontinue the Dreamcast and shift fully to being a third-party developer. So they really became, in the GameCube era, one of Nintendo's most prolific second-party partners. Like Super Monkey Ball, the first one, was a launch title for the GameCube. You also had stuff like Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, which also rules. That's a great version of Sonic Adventure 2. The first time Sonic was on a Nintendo console, which was a big deal, JB. For Sonic to be on a Nintendo console, what?
Look, my 3-year-old mind was blown.
And then obviously we got Billy Hatcher here as a Nintendo exclusive, and they even had like the developers of Super Monkey Ball, Amusement Vision, who had then become their RGG studio. They made F-Zero GX. Like
Crazy,
Nintendo,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like Nintendo had, you know, Sega working very closely with them in this era, and that relationship kind of continued. Like Sega made Wii exclusives,
Yeah,
Sega made
true.
Wii U exclusives, you know. So very, very interesting little period for Nintendo. I'm curious for you, JB. Like, what's your history? Like, when did Billy Hatcher? I feel like I'm asking you about like when you first was saved or something. Like, when did Billy Hatcher come into your life?
When did our Lord and Savior Billy come into my life? Okay.
Yeah.
It's crazy because it's one of those games where I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
it's just one of those things. Because again, the game came out in 2003, if I'm correct. Yeah, 2003. So if you didn't catch it when I said it earlier, I was born in 2000, so obviously I was 3 years old when this game came out. But I do have an older brother, so he played a lot of video games. Crazy enough, both of my favorite video games, like Billy Hatcher and Kingdom Hearts, I got both from him. But I think it was just a game that he ended up having. I have no idea what made my parents buy him this game. I have no idea like why they chose this game specifically, because he's not even like a really big like Sega Sonic person, you know. Like I'm the one who likes Sega and Sonic way more, so like I have no idea what enticed him to buy him this game. But again, I just grew up watching my older brother play this game, and it was just one of those ones where I was like so enthralled by it. I was just so like captivated by like the way it looks, the way it plays, like the soundtrack, like just the concept of it, so it was something that I was like, okay. I got a little bit older. I played a little bit, was never able to like really get a good grasp of it until I got a little bit older. And I'm like, oh, like, no, this is like really fun. Like, I really like this game. So I've always held like a very special place in my heart for Billy Hatcher. Like, it's always been something that's like stuck inside of me. It's always been there. And whenever I get the chance to like just randomly bring it up to people, I always do. Like, I've been doing that a lot with this one guy that I work with, because he also was like, oh, I like weird, obscure games. I'm like, okay. You ever heard of Billy Hatcher? And he just looks at me. He's like, I don't know what the hell that is. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, yeah, I gotcha. But yeah, it's one of those games that, again, it's just always been around. I don't know where it came from. I don't, again, this is a godsend. It's just been put into my life, and it has changed my life forever. So
it's just bestowed upon you from the chicken god. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, for me, I used to do this thing, like the GameStop in my hometown opened, I think in like 99 or 2000 or something like that, and I would go in there. And like I would just peruse like like I'm a broke kid, in 2003, I'm a teenager. I'm like, I would go in there. My mom would be in like the shoe store next door or whatever. And I would go in there and kind of like anything that I could afford with like the $20 I had or whatever. Like that's what I was picking up. And yeah, I think I just got a used copy of Billy Hatcher because I thought the cover was cool. I was like, this dude looks cool, you know? And just pick it up for, probably $5 or $10 or something like that. And, whenever that was, and brought that home. And yeah, I really love like the vibe of the game. Like, it's very playful. It's very colorful. It's very, I've always loved like 3D platformers and
same.
Yeah. Just stuff like that, especially of that era, especially on GameCube. Like, that's around the same, I'm playing stuff like Mario Sunshine and, stuff like that.
It's definitely one of those games for me personally that really does take me back to being a kid. Like, even though most of my memory of the game when I was younger was me watching my older brother play. It still kind of takes me back to that like childhood mind state of like, oh yeah. Cause again, it is a very, like, childlike game. It has a lot of whimsy, a lot of like, it's real, not fantasy, but again, like, it's really childlike, like I said. So yeah. Also, I will say, I find it funny that your local GameStop is also by a shoe store, because mine is also by a shoe store as well.
That's a very classic thing. Yeah. Like, they put it next to like a shoe department or like a Cato.
Actually, I think it's directly beside a shoe department. Now that you said it, I wasn't going to say it was a shoe department, but I believe it's a shoe department.
Yeah, 1000%. That's like a classic. I feel like whenever, I don't know. I know nothing about city development, as you could probably imagine, but that does seem to be a thing. Like GameStops that are in kind of like city plazas are always by some kind of like clothing or shoe department store. I've definitely noticed that. It's very strange.
Yeah, no, if it helps, it's a very similar thing. This is the craziest side tangent. I don't know if it's specifically North Carolina or if it's like just a southern thing, but there's a store here called Food Lion. Every single Food Lion you will ever go to will always have a Chinese restaurant somewhere in the vicinity. I don't know why. Yeah. And it's there. Obviously, there's no connection. Again, it's a random Chinese restaurant owned by a random family that definitely is not Chinese.
Right.
And I don't know what it is, but every single Food Lion I've been to has a Chinese restaurant near it. Don't know why. No clue.
Wow. Yeah, like there has to be a reason. So if anybody listening knows like the logistics behind that, leave a comment or something.
Yeah, please do. Enlighten us.
I'm genuinely interested to know. There has to be something there. Like, there has to be some kind of like
correlation
reason. Yeah. Like again, I don't know if it's related to city planning or if those people like work in tandem. If those businesses are like, hey, like our businesses do well together, so let's build new establishments next to each other or whatever. But
that would be a crazy connection, though.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
But you know what? Thinking about it now, saying it out loud, it would kind of make sense what you just said, you know, like, oh, my mom is in a shoe department, or like my aunt, my grandma, whoever is like shopping for shoes. So I'm just going to go next door to the game store and then like try and bug her to buy me this game because she's not here. So she's just going to be like, all right, whatever, here, take it, you know?
Yep. Dude, I used to work there. Like that was a huge part of like our, you know, clientele was that like kids coming in, you know, and they would look around waiting on their mom to get done shoe shopping or whatever. And then they'd be like, hey, I saw this game that I like, come by. Like it does. They go hand in hand a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wonder if that's, you know, the ins and outs of like retail marketing are fascinating because like they definitely think about every little thing like that. Like
it's a psychological thing. It really is like a big psychological thing.
Yep, absolutely. There's a reason why like GameStop stickers used to be yellow and, you know, all this stuff. Like they think about all of that, you know.
It's interesting. It's interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. Well, I guess to kind of like do a little bit of a story overview to kind of, you know, get into the lore of Billy Hatcher. What it's a very simple story. It's a very kind of like, yeah, it's kind of like a kid's fairy tale sort of almost kind of vibe. The setting of the game is called Morning Land because you're, you know, Billy Hatcher. It's like chickens, roosters, you know, stuff like that. When the game opens, Morning Land is being overtaken by Dark Raven, the evil Dark Raven, and his army of crows who trap the chicken elders that watch over Morning Land, and they end up shrouding the world in eternal night. Which, as you can imagine, the place called Morning Land, not thrilled about it being eternal night. So, meanwhile, in the like quote unquote, you know, real or the human world or whatever, Billy and his friends save a baby chicken in the forest from some ravens. They save it, and then the chick glows and teleports all of them to Morning Land, where Billy is then told by the chicken god that the crows are taken. I'm not joking. It is the chicken god.
It is the chicken god.
That the chicken god tells Billy that the crows have taken over Morning Land and that they're going to be coming for the human land next if he doesn't put on the legendary chicken suit and stop them. Apparently, Dark Raven is like this evil entity that is reborn every. I see JB capitalizing chicken god in our notes. Thank you for that, JB.
No
problem. Dark Raven is reborn every 100 years. He wants to hatch the titular giant egg of the title and get the legendary power from it to rule the world or whatever the hell he wants to do. So yeah, Billy Hatcher puts on the chicken suit, sets off to free the chicken elders and stop Dark Raven and his army. So you go throughout the different regions of Morning Land and fight the bosses and all this stuff until you eventually get to Dark Raven.
Yeah. I want to say really quickly as well.
Please.
I see why people look at me like I'm crazy when I say it now. Because, like, I'm listening to you and I'm like, oh, no, this really does sound like a fever dream. Like,
this sounds crazy, dude.
Yeah. And something else, which is very random that I did want to say, and I've always had the comparison in my head, but I've never been able to, like, say it to anybody. The game is a very classic, okay, light versus dark thing. But again, the story, at least for this one, is so similar to Kingdom Hearts 1.
Yeah.
This kid gets taken from his world. He gets this thing, and he's like, okay, I have to go stop this person from getting this, you know?
Yep.
It
has that vibe for sure.
Yeah.
Even like the childhood friends, you know, and stuff. There's not like the drama, or he doesn't have like a Riku or anything like that.
Yeah, no, definitely not that.
You know. But it does have that vibe. Like it definitely has that kind of like, you know, kids that are suddenly, you know, burdened with the fate of the world, you know, kind of vibe. And yeah, the light versus dark thing, obviously very Kingdom Hearts coded.
Yeah.
Very, very, very interesting comparison. I wonder how much of that, like, I do wonder if when they were developing this, if they were thinking about the stuff that was popular at the time.
Yeah.
Like if they were like, hey, Kingdom Hearts is popular, can we do something like that?
Yeah, let's do like a classic again, like light versus dark thing. Let's see what we can do with that.
Toss some chickens in there.
Yeah, some chickens and some crows.
Yeah. And you know, it's funny too, because I never really thought about like what the natural enemy of like a chicken would be. But
yeah, and it's funny because I was thinking in my head the same thing. I was like, I feel like we could have picked a better bird than a chicken. Because I was like, I feel like a dove maybe is like a better comparison for light or like whatever. But I don't know.
I mean, I get like the whole the chicken, the rooster thing, like welcoming in the morning
land. Yeah, that makes sense.
Even like the catchphrase is like that, like kookaloo or whatever, you know. So I get that. Like I understand that comparison. And then if you're looking for like a bird that represents night, it probably is a crow.
A crow.
Right.
A crow. And then again, crows and ravens that kind of, you know, coincide in one area anyway. So I feel like, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah, like I get it. However, I mean, I don't know. But I don't think they're the actual like real world natural enemies of each other. I think they're probably good with each other.
Probably
could have went for a snake or something. Snakes eat chicken eggs.
Snakes do eat chicken eggs.
Yeah. So there's that. Anyways, the game itself, to get into the actual like mechanics of it, it's a 3D platformer. You play as this kid Billy Hatcher, and on his own, Billy can really just like run and jump. Like he doesn't like the kind of thing with this game is the core mechanic of it is related to eggs. Like you'll find these eggs that are in nests. You grab them, roll them around, use them to defeat enemies, use it for platforming. You can kind of bounce with it. You can do like kind of slams with it, roll over enemies to defeat them. You collect dropped fruit to make the egg grow, and eventually the egg becomes hatchable, which, you know, you need to hatch it to get various power-ups or animal companions or whatever, but you got to be careful because the egg can also take damage and be destroyed, which really sucks because if that happens, you got to backtrack like back to the nest, get it back. That always sucks. How do you feel about this game mechanically? Because I think it's really interesting. Like I think it's really neat, this idea of like a 3D platformer that has like these weird, unique mechanics. It's also kind of like an escort mission because you have to like make sure the egg doesn't like get destroyed or lost or whatever. And then like without the egg, Billy kind of sucks. Like you kind of need the egg, right? So it's like sometimes kind of janky, but really it's like messy but interesting, you know?
Yeah. And it's funny that you said I never thought about it as an escort mission. And that is a really good point, that it basically is, especially the first stages, because in most of the worlds, obviously the first stage is you going to get the elder, the chicken elder of that world, and you have to take this golden egg that you have and make sure like that golden egg is the most important egg, because if you lose it or like, you know, it ends up cracking or anything like that, you literally have to start the whole stage over. But no, I never thought about it as an escort mission. It is interesting though. Again, it's a game that personally I haven't exactly seen anything like too similar to it, where it's like, oh yeah, like again, you take this thing, you have to use this thing that's like entirely too vulnerable, you know, and use it to attack, use it to for better movement, use it for all these little different things and stuff like that. And again, it is a bit janky at times because obviously with platforming, a 3D platformer, you kind of have to have this egg. It will happen where like, okay, you make this jump, but if the egg only makes it, you're falling. That's it.
Yeah. Yes. That happened to me a lot playing the game. Like
a lot.
You'll go up to like a platform like off the edge of it, and then like the egg will get on there, but Billy won't.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's just like, well, you're falling to your death, basically.
Like, all right, sick.
Yeah, and then now I have to start the entire thing over again.
Either that or like it's like a situation where like, cool, I have no way of getting up there now. I guess I'll just wait for the egg to despawn.
Yeah.
So I can then go get it again and try it again.
or it's the weird thing where it's like, okay, I didn't die from that fall, but now I have to get a different egg while my egg is still up there, and I now have to somehow push the giant egg that I just made like closer in so that I can make this jump and then grab my egg back. And then, you know, But it's a very interesting concept. Like something again that I've never really played before. It's fun. Like I said, it's a very fun thing to do. To have these giant eggs, and again, situationally, like, okay, how am I going to make this jump? How am I like platforming and stuff like that? Obviously, is the most important thing. But even then, I feel like air movement with this game was something that was like, okay, was very like not specific. I can't think of the word, but really important to this game because obviously, again, you can do little jumps and stuff like that on your own, but when you have your egg, that's where it becomes like okay, where can I go with this? Like, am I gonna jump, slam down, spin in the air, and then roll all the way to where I need to roll to? You know, there are stages where it's like you do have to kind of like, okay, jump, slam, and you have to roll yourself, like really throw yourself into the right direction because you have to go uphill. Or you see like these little, because in the game there are also these little tubes that you'll see like flying in the air. So like, how are you going to get to that tube that's like a little bit too far and you don't exactly know if you're actually going to make it or not? So let me see if I can like maneuver over there. Or you see this rail where you're like, okay, let me make sure I'm properly positioned, which the rails are stupid as hell in this game. I'm not going to lie.
The rails suck.
Hate them. Admittedly hate them. But it's fun. It's an interesting game. Again, something I've never really played before, you know?
Totally. Yeah, I come to appreciate that more and more the older I get, the more video games I play. Like, I'm good with a game being messy as long as it's ambitious. Like, I'm kind of good with some jank as long as it's giving me something to like think about. Because I've never played anything like Billy Hatcher before or since. Like, at all. There's, you know, for better or for worse, there's literally no other game that is just like this. You can kind of make, you know, like Katamari, you're rolling a ball around, you know, stuff like that. Kind of like that janky, you know, kind of the physics of that maybe are a little similar, but, you know, Katamari is not a platformer.
Yeah, Katamari is just about making this ball big and that's it.
Right. So like this has a little bit of that, but it really is like this is like they made a platformer out of this. I mean, to varying degrees of success, but like they did do it, you know, and there is like combat and enemies and, you know, boss fights, and it's pretty impressive like what they were able to do with the concept. I really wish it doesn't. I mean, look, if they ever made a sequel, I would freak out.
Dream game right there. Oh my gosh,
that'd be sick. I would love for them to make another one because, and I don't know that they ever will, but it would make me very happy. Because I do feel like it's a great like first draft. Like I would love to see them refine the mechanics more, you know?
Yeah, definitely do that. Because in my head, it's the same thing where it's like, okay, we have I will say a really solid idea of like, okay, we take these eggs, you can have stuff in them, you can do all these things with it and stuff. But like, how far can we really go with these eggs? Like, I feel like there's so many other like platforming opportunities with it. Shoot, I'm actually crazy enough watching, like I just put a long play up just so I can kind of have it on in the background.
Yeah.
But like they're at Dino Mountain, and I really forgot about this, where it's one part where you literally have to take your egg, push it onto the rail, make sure you're not on the rail too, and then you have to like do this platforming around to get to the other side before the egg falls. Yeah. But like interesting little things like that where it's like, okay, what can I, like, again, escort mission, how am I going to do this? How am I going to like successfully do this? And even then, if they did do a sequel, how am I going to push that boundary even more to like make even more interesting platforming opportunities and interesting puzzles to complete?
Right. Yeah. I think it's such a cool idea. Like it's such a cool, unique idea and a cool, unique little world. I would love it if they had the opportunity to expand on it really at all, or even just a re-release would make me happy. But
I feel like if they did a re-release, then we really need to rally the troops and be like, look, I need everybody to buy this game so we can get this second one out, man.
I need something. Give
like
me
imagine
something.
an open world like Billy Hatcher game where it's
it'd be interesting.
That would be so dope.
Yeah, I'd be down for something, man. I even just like for Sega in general to make like more interesting things.
Yeah.
Because, you know, this period of time, like early 2000s, like they were just throwing everything at the wall and like let's just see what sticks. Yeah, you know, and I just think it's such a cool idea. And you know, again, maybe it's a little janky, sure. Maybe it's a little frustrating, sure. But at least it's like, at least it's new. Like, at least it's innovative. Like, we don't get enough games, like so many games, right? Especially 3D platformers. I've played, you know, dozens of them over the course of my life. I feel like 99% of the time, I can pick up the controller on a 3D platformer and basically know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know, like have like a general like idea of what the controls are going to be. Like, I love the experience of picking up the controller and not knowing like exactly how it's going to feel. Like having to learn it, you know.
It's one of those things where it's like putting yourself in a familiar situation, but also still giving yourself opportunity to learn. Like, okay, again, it is a platform. It's a 3D platformer. So you know, control sticks does this, A does this or whatever. But now you have this extra component of you have to grab these eggs. These eggs will give you way more mobility. Like, okay, we're going to touch on it in a second with the show notes and stuff. But then you get to the point where it's like, okay, we have items. What do these items do?
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, so we mentioned the eggs, like, you get the egg, you raise the egg to a particular size when it becomes like hatchable, essentially. There are a ton of different eggs in the game, dozens of them. And some of them are like power-ups, like power-up hats. Like Billy has like different hats he can wear, which I guess they're called combs.
Yeah.
Like, is that what the rooster's like hair is called? Is a comb?
I believe so.
That's crazy.
I've definitely heard that before. I believe it is called a comb. I just know that the part underneath. I don't actually know. I don't know what the part underneath is called.
Yeah,
wow.
I've always just thought of that as like a gobbler.
Yeah, little I don't know, giblets. I don't know.
Yeah, no. like what is that?
It is the comb. Yeah, it is the comb.
So that's the comb. The part underneath is the comb. Okay.
No, on top is the comb. My fault.
Oh, on top is the comb. I got you. Yeah. So it's funny. Like Billy can, and they're called combs in the game. Like that's how I learned about what that is. And they're just different like power up hats. Billy can, you know, you'll get like, you know, fire attacks or ice attacks or whatever. You know, there are things like you can get the ability to double jump, or there's like bomb eggs that'll hatch into bombs and stuff. But there are a ton of animal buddies, like animal companions that can hatch out of the eggs, which are always fun. There's even some special eggs where if you get like these hidden tokens, if you get enough of them, you can find these special eggs that can hatch into like Sega characters. Like you can just get Sonic and Knuckles and Knights and, you know, a bird from Phantasy Star. Pretty sick. A cat from Choo Choo Rocket. Like you can just have them chill with you. Do you have like a favorite animal companion? Do you have like a go-to one that you always like to see?
I do have a favorite animal companion for sure. It's Chippin, who is the little penguin.
The penguin? Yes, that's my favorite too.
I love the penguin.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's another one. It's the green one with the long arm. No, the orange one with the long arms. My fault.
Yeah.
I like him too. I don't remember his name. And then I know there's one other one, which I believe is green, or maybe white. But it flies. It has the really floppy ears. I like that one too. Those are like the three that I think of off the top of my head. Yeah.
Yeah, there's that one that's like a it's got, I know what you're talking about. The floppy ears. It's like green and white. I think it's like a pelican or something.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's what it is.
Yeah. I also really like the that seal one, that purple seal, that like big spiky seal one. I don't know the names, but yeah. But my favorite's always the penguin. He's got a little scarf, dude. Like,
ooh,
what you know?
Two other ones. Thinking about it, the monkey, the little electric monkey. I've always liked him, and then I completely forgot there's a whole shark. Completely forgot about that.
There is a whole shark.
There's just a whole shark, and I think you can ride the shark too, can't you?
Yeah.
And I think it's a whole shark, and isn't there also like a dinosaur or something like that?
Oh, I don't remember the dinosaur. That makes sense though. There's like a dinosaur area, so that makes sense. Yeah, that rules. Yeah, I mean, there's got to be. I don't know how many animal companions there are, but there's a bunch. There's a ton.
Just looked it up. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There's
6,
a lot.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
16.
14 if you don't, because apparently there's a super chippin and a super recce, which is chippin. Well, clippin. Sorry, clippin is the penguin, Reki is the monkey, but there's super versions of them. So 16 if you count those.
Yeah, and then you have like the Sega characters. So there's a lot. Like there's a lot of animal buddies in this, and I think that's such a cool touch. Like I think it's so cool that you have like little companion characters that you can hatch from the eggs. Like there's an actual reason to take care of the eggs. Yeah. Which I think is sick. Like, because it would be one thing if it was just as simple as, hey, I need this egg to have like the full platforming capabilities or whatever.
Exactly.
But like the idea that you can actually then hatch it and then like get a benefit from it, I think is really cool.
And then even then, a lot of depending on the stage, the animal buddy will have a use. Like I know there's some stages where like there'll be buttons that you have to press, but there's fire around it. So you have to make sure you find the blue egg specifically, hatch it. Take the animal in there, and then you go along, do what you got to do, and stuff like that. So like the animal companions also do have a purpose as well. It's not like it's just here you just take the animal companion, that's it. Like no, and they can fight as well. They can also like if you press the right button, you can send them off, and they'll do whatever move they're instructed to do.
Right. It's a neat touch. Like it's a cool like. They really did design this whole game around the egg, like the functionality of the egg, and it's cool that a game like is so that the game is so focused on that core design. Really, really neat. We talked about it a little bit, like the land, Morning Land itself is divided into 7 like regions, which each have a set of missions that you select when you load into the region. It's kind of like a Mario 64 kind of scheme where you see like the list of missions, you choose one, and then you're going in and you're doing it. The first mission's going to be set at night where, JB mentioned it earlier, you got to track down a golden egg, hatch it, save the chicken elder that is inside of it, and then that, returns the light to the area. And then other missions, you rescue Billy's friends, because Billy's friends are along for the ride too. You got Rolly, Rolly, Bantam, and Chick. Yeah. You got them, and you can, save them. There are missions where you can actually play as them, which is cool. And you got boss fights and stuff like this. And then when you complete a mission, you get an emblem of courage, which just kind of looks like a chicken head. Yeah. like a chicken, like a rooster's head or something. And that's basically this game's equivalent of like a power star in Mario or something. And that's what it is structurally. Yeah. I've got a list here of like the levels and the bosses. I'm curious if is there like a standout level or a boss? Like, what are some of your favorites?
Okay. So 2 that I always like gravitate towards, Pirates Island. Yep. That's my jam right there. I feel like when I played Pirates Island, that was when I really fell in love with the game. I was like, oh yeah, no, like this is it. Because it's not, again, it's 7 worlds, so like it's the second world you get to. But like, I don't know what it is about Pirates Island that I just love. I like water-based things most of the time, so it's like I just gravitated towards it a little bit. But Circus Park is also an honorable mention for me for sure. I don't know what it is with this circus theme that I just like so much. I just like it. It's just something about it. I don't know.
Yeah, like it kind of reminds. Circus Park kind of has like a little bit of. Also, there's a thunderstorm going on outside, so I don't know if that's getting picked up on my mic or not.
It's okay.
All good. But Circus Park kind of reminds me of like Knights or Klonoa or something like that.
Yeah, it gives that vibe for sure.
Like it kind of has that vibe. But yeah, I think for me it's definitely Pirates Island. I think is my favorite. Like the whole vibe of it. I love the boss fight of that one, Captain Glur. I think that's my favorite boss fight in the game.
And that's what I was gonna say. It's either Captain Glur or Sultim, which is the boss for Circus Park. Either of them two. I love them.
Yeah, Captain Glur kind of like I was thinking about this when I was playing. There's a boss in Splatoon 3. I think the fight against Shiver, I think, where like she goes into her ink and like becomes a shark in it.
Oh,
like that,
yeah. I know what you're talking about.
It kind of is like this.
It does
like
remind me of that, huh? I didn't piece that together. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, it is kind of similar.
Yeah, because like Captain Glur will like throw down these little like bits of water and then he'll kind of like disappear into them and is kind of like that. It kind of reminds me of that a little bit. I was like, oh man, yeah, that's right.
I never thought about that. No, that's a fire reference. That's hard. That's hard.
Yeah. So there's some fun, boss fights in this. I mean, a lot of them like they don't ask you, for too much. Like there's not like any, massive like changes or gimmicks or anything like that, but they're cool designs.
It's definitely the very traditional, like, okay, either wait it out or like stun the boss and then hit it, and then it goes into another cycle, and then
right,
stun the boss, hit it, and then it goes into another. So it's very similar. Like, well, the standard 3D platformer, like, okay, boss fight, do this,
Right. Yep. Yeah, really, really cool stuff. And yeah, it's neat that like all of the biomes have such different energy to them. Like, it's your standard stuff. You have like your forest zone, you have your water zone, you have your, kind of desert zone, you have your ice zone, like they hit all of those notes, but they all have very different and particular vibes.
Yeah.
So,
and even with the music, it's also very much a thing as well, where that's one thing as well with the soundtrack that I love, that like all of the areas have, like, I'm not gonna say vastly different, but it is different music for each of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can tell they're all from the same game, but all of them are so unique in their own like way. It's, again, just amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great stuff, man. Okay, well, let's get into... We actually have a voicemail here from Spriteless that I actually wanted to work in here, and we're going to play this voicemail, and you'll see why I worked it in here as we go into our next break. I'm going to go ahead and insert this one here. We got a couple other voicemails that I'll save for the end of the show, but let's hear from Spriteless real quick.
Hello, the expanded cinematic universe of Bit Harmony All-N Media Conglomerate. It is I, Spriteless, here to talk at you. I have never actually played Billy Hatcher and the Giant Eggs. I went straight from Mario Sunshine to Vex, and while Vex is long and angsty, it is not as inventive as either Mario Sunshine or the Billy Hatcher game. What I know of Billy Hatcher is the insert credit blog did not like it back when it was new-ish, and an IGN guy was obsessed with the idea of like cracking and eating the eggs, and it did not do well financially, so it ended up sealing Sonic's team's fate of making Sonic games forever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a request. I don't know any of the music, but if Billy Hatcher has some getting up to something music, I would like to hear that. So have a great podcast. Bye.
Thanks, Spriteless. Yeah, so JB, we have Matt and I kind of have like a tradition of calling out what we call getting up to something music.
Okay.
So
I think I could kind of assume.
Yeah, you kind of know what I'm talking about when I say that. Yeah, just music that you play when you're getting up to something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I chose to put Spriteless's voicemail here, because our next break, Spriteless, I'm happy to say you're going to hear some getting up to something music.
Definitely.
So
Definitely.
We'll make some space for that. Thanks for sending that in, Spriteless. I love the Vex shout out, first of all. Crazy pull. I've not heard anybody reference Vex maybe ever. So
long time.
Yeah, so I was delighted by that. Also, yes, the idea that like Sonic Team is just kind of resigned to making Sonic games for forever now. Very true and very unfortunate. I miss when they could do stuff like this.
Yeah, the weird little games that they're like, okay, let's just try something.
Yep. So, okay, well, let's go on a break then. Let's listen to a couple of getting up to something songs. We're gonna listen to Passionate and Silent Seas and Bossa Nova of Briny Air. And if the thunder is being picked up on my mic, I don't mean for the intimidating ambiance of that. We're gonna listen to those, and we'll be right back. And that was Passionate and Silent Seas and Bossa Nova of Briny Air, some getting up to something songs, if I do say so myself. JB, Passionate and Silent Seas was one of your must-haves. Tell me about this one.
This is my favorite song on the soundtrack. I love this song so much. It's honestly, it's weird to say it like this, but I'm very positive. And this does kind of connect from this one to the next one, and truthfully, honestly, the third song, and the next song as well. But it's a bossa nova song. Like, it's that kind of bossa nova rhythm to it. And this would definitely be my introduction to bossa nova music, because I did not know what it was before like listening to this. And obviously I'm a kid. I'm just okay, like, but this is my introduction to bossa nova. One thing in the track that I definitely wanted to like highlight is kind of the call and response type of thing that they're doing with the instruments is so interesting to me, and it kind of occurs in a couple of the other tracks, like just throughout the soundtrack as well. But this one is way more prominent to me. That, you know, one instrument does something and then it responds to another one instrument does something and another one will respond. I love it. I don't know what African drum it was that in that, but it would tickle a part of my brain that I was just like, ooh wee, I love that. Like, give me more of that. I can't tell. It's definitely, it kind of sounds like a djembe or a djembe, something like that. It may be, but I don't know. But it's, oh my goodness, again, the percussion on this, amazing.
Yeah, the percussion sounds, I'm like, what do we have here? We have like, some kind of like hand drum, maybe like some wood block, you know, kind of work going on here, but also there are maracas in here. Yes. You know, which is very, very classic. That's a very classic bossa nova move, you know, so that makes sense. But then, like, this is like when you first go to Pirates Island at night is like when this plays, I think. So it's a bit of a shame that like this is kind of like the time that this plays, because then for the rest of it you get like Bossa Nova of Briny Air. Like you get this for the nighttime mission, and that's like kind of it, I think. Yeah. So kind of a bummer that this is like the one time really you get it. But yeah, I mean, it's great. Like there's more funky bass, you know, like it's insane. Just so layered, so interesting. And yeah, I think I'm with you. This is probably my first real exposure to bossa nova conceptually as well. Like just even hearing it at all. It kind of reminds me of like when playing Ocarina of Time, like it would, you know, like introduce you to like musical terms. Yeah. You know, like I didn't know any of that stuff before playing Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, exactly. Nah, I feel you. So again, it's one of those things where it's just like, as much as, again, we want to sit here and be like, it's a weird game, yes, but like the soundtrack is so dope. The soundtrack is also just like really weird, but it is introducing like all these different elements and stuff, like these clash of genres that are just really coming together to become something beautiful. And again, I mean, I mentioned it with the very first track, you know, but like this one, it's again a bossa nova track. It has all these other elements of kind of like jazz, pop, like funk, especially with the bass and stuff like that. So it's just so great. And then another thing I will say too is I feel like we rarely hear like bossa nova in most like video game music in general. Like you rarely hear bossa nova, rarely. So again, for it to be highlighted in this way and to be done in such a like really good fashion, it's again amazing.
Yeah, I feel like people write off bossa nova. They're like, oh, that's elevator music, you know, or like some, like they kind of undersell like how cool and unique that kind of genre can be, that style can be. I think that's a bummer because this game really sends that up. Well, speaking of that, this other song that we broke for, Bossa Nova of Briny Air, this is my favorite song in the game.
Okay.
So we paired our two favorites here. Like when I think of Billy Hatcher, I think of this song. Just again, that you know, the bass line again is so standout. This does another kind of like the percussion of this very like hi-hat heavy. Yeah. You got tambourines at a few points. So this is again classic bossa nova. But like one part that I kind of forgot about this song until listening to it for the episode is like the little drum line.
And that's what I was about to see. It's funny because that's low-key the only note I have for this song. Is that little concert snare that they use. Like, oh my goodness. I love that so much. That's something that just sticks in the back of my brain. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I didn't even remember that element of it. Like I always think of like the, you know, like the core melody of it, like the bass. I'm like, man, I've totally forgot about how wild that is. Like what a weird. I mean, you mentioned it's like the mashing of genres. Like a bossa nova song should not have a drum line like that in it.
Not at all.
You know,
not at all.
like by traditional thinking. Like it should not have that in it, and they just kind of do it. They just kind of say whatever, man. Like we're just gonna throw it in there.
Yeah, let's just throw stuff at the wall and just see what sticks. And I mean, again, it created an amazing soundtrack. It really did.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, speaking of the soundtrack, I did do a little bit of research. I want to talk about the game's composers a little bit. Mariko, Nanba, and Tomoya Ohtani. I'm going to mispronounce like so much here. I feel bad for Matt. Matt often, he's usually the one kind of steering the ship, and he has to pronounce so many Japanese names. So shout outs to Matt. Matt usually is the one. He has to do this. Nanba in particular, I found her really interesting. She joined Sega in the early 90s. Fresh out of college, she sent Sega a demo tape, which was kind of like her, like almost audition. Like she's almost like, hey, give me a job. Here's my demo tape. Yeah. And she starts out as a sound designer, working on a game called Panic, which is a Sega CD game, a point and click adventure. She did the master for that game. That was her first job. Then she had her first job as lead composer for Knuckles Chaotix. Of all
crazy
things.
pull. I was gonna say, that's a crazy pull. And I'll admittedly say I know what Knuckles Chaotix is, and I've heard like bits and pieces of the music. The music is so good in that too. I'm not gonna lie. It's so good.
The music is what I've never played it. The music though I know, and the music is really good. And yeah, like she would be part of the composing teams for just about every 3D Sonic game up until she left Sega. The last games that she worked on were things like Sonic Colors and Super Monkey Ball Step and Roll, these kind of like Wii games, and that's around kind of like late 2000s is when she left Sega. And the cool thing about Nanba, because Ohtani, and I'll talk about him in a second too, he's famous. Like he's probably one of the most prolific Sega developers. Nobody knows about Mariko Nanba though, and her involvement in the game is really important because her major influences come from the Shibuya-kei movement from Japan in the mid to late 90s, and when you know that, it's all over the soundtrack. Like it is everywhere. So what Shibuya-kei is, this is a subgenre of music, very sample heavy, usually samples stuff from like retro Western culture, stuff from like the 60s, like Burt Bacharach and stuff like that, is often kind of sampled. Very like jazz funk, jazz fusion, lounge kind of vibes, bossa nova kind of vibes. Like they're often invoking that. And where it came from in Japan in the mid to late 90s, they would be playing these songs in retail stores in the Shibuya shopping district. So you would go into a store and you'd hear this like electronic musician who's like chopping up, Burt Bacharach samples and making like a funky, jazz fusion song out of it while you're clothes shopping in Shibuya or something in the 90s. And Shibuya-kei literally means Shibuya type. So her influence with that, I'm like, yeah, man, that's kind of exactly what Billy Hatcher's OST is.
Yeah.
Like it feels like that.
And it's funny because as I was reading through the notes, I was like, Shibuya-kei. I'm like, I never had really heard of that before until this episode. So I was like, okay, let me do a tiny bit of research. So I was kind of listening to a couple track stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, no, like you can definitely hear it. Like once you listen to that genre and you kind of familiarize yourself with it, and then you come back and listen to this, and you're like, oh no, it's just like not like carbon copy, but it's like, no, you can definitely see like where that inspiration came from. It's another example of like someone really just loving something and being like, okay, I'm gonna put as much of this as I can in there, even if she didn't mean to do it. It's just something that's just kind of in your DNA,
Right. Yeah, it was interesting because like I had never, like I wasn't familiar with that subgenre until doing research for this episode, and I was like, yeah, let me poke around, let me like listen to like some some classic examples of this genre, and the second I'm like, oh yeah, totally, like that's exactly what this sounds like. And then you work in Ohtani, Tomoya Ohtani, who, like I said, is one of Sega's like premier composers, especially in this time. Like he was the lead composer for Choo Choo Rocket, which was his kind of debut with Sega, but he's basically been either the lead composer or like otherwise overseer for the music of essentially every Sonic game. And he, interestingly, and we mentioned this a little bit earlier, he considers himself a bassist when it comes to like his main instrument that he identifies it with. And it makes sense because we've mentioned it a few times. The bass in this OST goes absolutely crazy.
Nuts.
So like knowing that about both of these composers, I'm like, the game's OST really does feel like the perfect marriage of both of their core influences, you know? So I find that so cool. Like, I love how, like, individual and, like, specific to these two people, you can really feel both of them in the work here.
Yeah. And you know what? And to get, like, slightly deep on this, and I don't know why, like, really thinking about it, it's funny. Like, how we're talking about, okay, the soundtrack itself is like this perfect marriage of all these different genres: bossa nova, jazz, pop, drum and bass, like all this stuff, jungle, like all these things, hip hop. There's a hip hop track in here. And as I was listening to the whole thing, I was like, whoa! I said, wait a minute, I don't remember this. But it's so crazy, at least for me personally, to think about that. You know, these mixing and mashing of genres, and then again to think of Tomoya and oh my goodness, Mariko, and it's the same thing where like two people who, like, I'm not gonna say come from completely different worlds, but again, like have very different kind of like upbringings musically with stuff. And then even my own self, where I'm like, I have all these like hip hop, R&B influences, jazz influences, and these video game influences, and these two things that, like, I'm not gonna say shouldn't work, but like the traditional person would not try and jam these things together, but they work, you know?
Yeah,
they work in such a beautiful, harmonious way and create like these beautiful, harmonious tracks and all these like good things. And again, it becomes this thing where it's like this really like as the game is like this little golden egg of just good stuff, like this really like small little genre of like, okay, like this is a really good time, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's, you know, this has been my mantra this year, JB, and this is a bit of a cheesy phrase, but I love it. It's the you-ness is the newness, you know, and it's like the thing that is individual to you. Like, if you can tap into that and make it come through your art, like that's how you make new art, you know, like that's how new art is created. That's how a soundtrack like Billy Hatcher, which is, you say whatever you want about the game, I think objectively the OST is interesting and phenomenal. Yeah. And the way you make new and interesting art, like the soundtrack of Billy Hatcher, is you do something new and you tap into the you-ness. You tap into whatever that is, whatever that piece of your upbringing, your influence, whatever, you put that into your work and you're gonna create something new and interesting.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's great stuff, man. So I wanted to shout them out a little bit because I think you can really feel their fingerprints all over the game. I did want to mention, at least briefly, the fact that this game has multiplayer. It's kind of crazy that the game has that at all. Did you play with the multiplayer at all?
Yes, I actually did. As I mentioned, I do have an older brother, and I do have a little brother as well. But me and my older brother, we did play a lot of the multiplayer. If I'm correct, and I'm really trying to remember, I know there's time matches where what is it? Yeah, defeat as many enemies as possible. You have the hatch. Well, yeah, you have the hatch matches. Try and hatch a target or whatever. And but no, we played a little bit. We did. Me and my brother, we used to play all the time. Whenever it was something where it was like, okay, we both just want to play something, we would throw it on. It's not a lot of meat in there. It's just really like, okay, here you go. And even with the maps and stuff, like they're really just condensed versions of all the different worlds and different maps and stuff. But yeah, I will say though, most of the time when we did do multiplayer, I either chose Chick or Bantam. Them two, I love both of them down. Those are my guys.
Bantam's my favorite.
Yeah, I was gonna say
he's so bulky. Like he's just a big like himbo energy to him.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, well, it's funny because I think they were. I was reading an interview where they were even with the characters trying to evoke Sonic. Like Bantam is the Knuckles, Chick is the Tails.
Yeah, and I get that. I definitely feel that. Now that you said it, I definitely feel like those stereotypes do match up. Like obviously Billy being Sonic, Raleigh or Rolly being Amy. Yeah, that makes sense. Because even then, Chick is the youngest. Like he's the small little guy out of all of them. Big ass head but small body. You know.
He's like the little young kid who's like kind of a jerk a little bit. And, yeah, he's got that kind of energy to him. They're definitely, I think, trying to evoke even with like the color palette of the characters kind of. Evoke them a little bit. I mean, Billy's not, like blue or anything, but the others are kind of, they do definitely give like Amy, Tails, and Knuckles kind of energy.
Their like colors are kind of around those, Yeah,
it's interesting. I never messed with the multiplayer. I knew that it had it, but I don't think I ever played it. So I'm glad you did. It seems interesting. Like it's cool that it's in there.
It's something that again, it's more or less like, okay, we're just gonna throw it on, play a couple rounds, just kind of mess around with it and stuff, and then it's like okay, that's it. I don't want to do it anymore. So
yeah. It's neat, the neat inclusion. One thing that I did mess with, I thought this was awesome. Anytime a GameCube game had like GBA link cable functionality, I was like, hell yes, I'm all about this. So the way this works, you could find like rare GBA like eggs. Like literally it has on the egg design like a picture of like a GBA game or something, and if you manage to hatch them, you would unlock these like mini games that you could use your GBA link cable and play them on your GBA. You didn't even have to like keep it connected. They would flash it to the GBA itself, and then you could unplug it and play it as much as you wanted, like until you turn the GBA off, which I thought was super cool. So we had Choo Choo Rocket Challenge, which is just like a little bite-sized choo-choo rocket. Knight's Score Attack, which is like a little, kind of a cool little side-scroller version of Nights into Dreams. Like they kind of nailed it. Like it's weird and a little janky, but like it literally just feels like if Nights were a side-scroller on the GBA. Like it kind of works. You had Puyo Pop, which is just Puyo Puyo, but in endless mode, which is, cool. Who doesn't like Puyo Puyo? And then you have Billy Hatcher Hyper Shoot, which is a vertical like up scroller where you're Billy and you're throwing eggs at enemies that come down at the screen, and kind of like a Galaga or something like that. Did you mess with any of these? Did you play any of these?
Sadly, I did not. I did not have a GBA link cable, but it was funny because I do remember like when I was playing when I was younger that I would always find the eggs. I'd always find the eggs, I'd hatch them, do whatever. Like, okay, cool. It was like, oh, it's a Game Boy, cool, whatever. And that'd be it. And then I go back to the menu and they're like, oh, you could play this. And I'm like, okay, cool. And like, obviously I'm a kid. I don't know what's going on. So I'm just like, okay, cool, I guess. But no, I never played with them. And funny enough, I didn't even know what they did until I got older and then like started going back into the game, researching it and stuff. And I was like, oh, like that's what that was? I was like, well.
They're cool. They're cool little games.
Yeah, so I'm like, now I gotta somehow get a Game Boy link cable, because don't I also need like the little BBL on the GameCube too?
Yeah. Okay. You gotta have that little like connector. You plug it into like the back of your like the power port of your GBA. So yeah, nothing too crazy. I bet you could get your hands on that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You could probably find one of those on the aftermarket.
It's funny too because there is a video game store like like an hour away, and that's not really far from me, but it's a video game store that I see it every time. I see that they have that in there every time, and I'm like, one of these days, I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna snatch that up.
You get it for cheap. Yeah, you could do the Tingle Tuner on Wind Waker.
See, who wouldn't want to do the Tingle Tuner on Wind Waker?
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. Yeah, you could mess around with all this stuff. Yeah, it's always cool. Like whenever, like it's rare that a game gives you like a completion reward like that is like something you can kind of like take outside of the game with you, which is very like that's a very Sega coded thing. Like they. Even like with stuff like what's the is it called the VMU on the Dreamcast, like where you could put the Chow into the little Dreamcast VMU and like take it with you.
Yeah, I think that it is. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like Sega was kind of into this idea of like taking something from the game like out into the real world with you, which I still think that's cool.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
it is.
Yeah, even from today's standard. I also kind of wanted to mention here too, it did for a little while seem like Sega was kind of trying to make Billy Hatcher a thing. Even though the game didn't like sell very well, like they would put him in, like he was in Sonic Riders, Zero Gravity for the Wii, which I never played. I didn't realize he was in there, but that rules.
I didn't either. I had no idea he was in there. And then like I went through this whole thing because I have Sonic Riders on the Xbox, but I have Sonic Riders Zero Gravity on the Wii. And I specifically got it on the Wii because I found out that he was in the game. So I'm like, duh, I have to get it on the Wii. Like, I don't want it on any other console. So I haven't played it yet. But when I do get around to like really going through, I'm definitely going to like, no, Billy's going to be my main in that game.
You gotta play as your boy. Yeah, 100%. That's right. Yeah. Well, I did know this because I am a big fan of Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, and particularly Transformed. So he was playable in the first one, and yeah, he had his own course, his own music, like that tumbling xylophone was in there. Mm-hmm. I think Bossa Nova Briny Air is in there as well.
Yeah, I believe so. And I think it's one other track. It may be one from Blizzard Castle, I think. I don't know. Blizzard Castle's the stage. My fault.
Yeah, that Blizzard Castle is the stage that he has in Transformed.
Okay, okay.
But I don't remember what the other song. It might have been the Sand Ruins theme.
It could have been. Yeah.
Could have been. I can't remember. But he was playable in the first one. He didn't come. He was actually planned to come back for Transform, but he didn't make the final cut. But he does still have the you mentioned the Blizzard. It's called Chili Castle in the game. But in Transformed, he does have his own course, and you can see Rolly Chick and Bantam in the course. So it kind of implies like. The fact that Billy's not also in the course kind of implies that they were planning to make him playable again.
Yeah, for sure.
So they had that going, and then he had his own mini game in Sega's iToy game. Remember the iToy?
I do.
For PS2, Sega Superstars. There was a Billy Hatcher mini game where you have to like put your hands up into like a little spot on the TV and like push around an egg as Billy Hatcher with the iToy. So. But that was it. Like that's all we've seen of Billy Hatcher since. He hasn't really popped back up or appeared since then. It seems like Sega has kind of forgotten about him in recent years, which I think is a shame. I think it's like a really unique part of their history, and like I said, I mean, we mentioned it earlier, but I would love really anything. Like I'll just kind of take what I can get. But he's one of my favorite Sega characters. I think he's just a silly little guy. I just like him.
And you know, we said it earlier, but like it would really be cool to have him back. And like, I feel like this is a world that definitely could be fleshed out way more. Like even with the 4 characters and stuff like that in general, like we don't know anything about them. We don't know, you know, a lot of like in depth about them. Like again, we kind of assign different character traits to them based off of what they kind of look like and all this type of stuff. But like, it's so much extra stuff that we could dig up a little bit more and really get into it, and like again create this whole new world of stuff that could like it could be a big thing. We never know. You never know.
Yeah it'd be neat to see. It would make me happy. Just any acknowledgement, even just make him like playable in Monkey Ball or something. Like even just that, like I'll take that.
I'll say a while ago, it was funny. I got really excited because one day I just woke up in the morning and Sega had did like a morning tweet, and the GIF was Billy Hatcher, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, they acknowledged him!"
Let's go!
I was like, "Yeah," and that was all I got. I was like, I didn't get anything else. I was like, "Okay, well, I got that. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted."
Yeah, I mean, even like I genuinely think this will never happen in a million years, but I genuinely think that like he would be a cool fighter in Smash. Even
it's so funny because we're getting to it now, like the YouTube comment, but I kept seeing that because I was looking for comments, and I kept seeing people be like, "Oh, if Billy was in Smash, it would be an interesting character. It'd be really interesting to see." It would be.
Like the idea, because I think Olimar kind of taps into this idea of like having managed like companions or something. It'd be neat to have that with the egg. Like he would be, I think, a really difficult character to play well. But you could imagine, like, you know, kind of rolling the egg, it getting bigger and more powerful. You know, if you manage to like keep using it without your enemies breaking it, it could be used as almost like a shield.
Yeah,
You know?
that would be tough.
So-
And then even then, think about like alternative costumes and stuff. Like obviously, 3 of them are going to be, you know, Roly, Chick, Bantam, or even if it's not them, you know, they could do like color variants of them, and then they could change like his comb. They could give him the purple hat. They could give him a golden comb. They can give him this comb. You know what I'm saying? Like that would be really dope. That would be, oh my goodness.
I would again, never gonna happen, but I would love that.
Never gonna happen. But this means Sega just needs to make their own fighting game. That's what we need to do.
That would be sick, actually. I would be down for that. More honestly, because like I just want there to be more platform fighters in general.
Yeah.
I think that it's such an untapped subgenre because everybody like
Smash
everybody,
supremacy.
yeah, like everybody knows you can't take on Smash. Like it's just not. You're never gonna reach that level. So at least do something.
Multiverses. Come on, man.
Totally, right? So like but it's kind of okay. Like I like it when people try. Like I like it when people make an attempt. Like I enjoyed PS All Stars.
I was gonna say,
I liked that.
No, I love the PlayStation All Stars. Oh my goodness, I played the mess out of that game. I played the shit out of it. I loved it.
It was a cool game. Like I enjoyed it. Nicktoons All Star Brawl is It's cool. Like I like it when people make an attempt, you know. Such a neat idea. These kind of crossover things. Well, okay, before we take our final Billy Hatcher break, was there anything else we haven't covered yet that you wanted to make sure that we covered before we move on?
Thinking about it, I don't think so. No.
Okay.
I know, and it's funny because only thing I'm going to say is for people listening, if you're not going to play the game, at least listen to the soundtrack because we really only touched on the first 3 worlds, only those songs. And again, the Circus World has a really dope soundtrack. The Desert does too. That sitar on Sandstorm Sitar is fire.
Yes.
Like it's a lot more music wise to this game. So that's the only thing I'll say. Is just go and listen to it if you're not going to play it. But yeah.
No, you're so right, and I'm glad you said that. 'Cause I'm like I mentioned earlier, I agonized over like the cuts that I had to only get this like a few breaks. It killed me. I was like, because I wanted to have the Sandstorm Ruins song. Like I wanted to put that in there. I'm like, oh my god, Bony Dinosaur Dance. I really wanted in here.
Yes,
it's all great. Like the whole from top to bottom, the entire soundtrack is great. So yeah, go listen to it separately. Okay, well let's go on our last Billy Hatcher break. Then we're gonna listen to "Let's Go Easy" and "Lullaby of Snow Mountain," and we'll be back. All right, that was Let's Go Easy and Lullaby of Snow Mountain. JB, talk to me about Let's Go Easy.
Okay. Let's Go Easy. I will say this is the one that like I randomly will whistle to lead the lead to this when I'm just like working or something like that. Like I love this song so much. This is the middle track. This is the daytime track, I believe, for Pirates. What's it called? Pirates Island. But I love it. That's all I can really say. I love it. The random tone switches that happen with the organ in the background. I love that. It's one of those things where that one really like, okay, it switches from like, okay, yeah, this is the really cool, like, you know, cool dance bossa nova track, but then it really gets into the bossa nova when the organ comes in. You're like, oh, it's like, okay, I got a little vibe here. Okay, let's go. And then even then the percussion in the background. Oh my goodness, it's great track. Yeah. Great track.
This is a good one. This one is kind of like, to me, the vibe of it. This one almost got cut for something else, and the more I listened to it, I was like, no, man, like, especially for the time, like, this is summer of Nintendo. Yeah. Like, this is such a summer vibe. Like, this is the, like, just like the chill groove, the whistles again, like it's like driving with the top down in the summer. It's beach, you know, it gives that whole vibe. Like 100%. I just 100% had to have it in the episode. But this next one, Lullaby of Snow Mountain, this was another JB pick. Talk to me about this, because I'll tell you what, I'm gonna let you loose on this one, but my first note is just, this one's a little nasty.
Yeah, no, I agree. Because one thing that I'm gonna say with this, that I was listening to it the other day, the day that I made the playlist, I was listening to it, I was at work, and I got to the end of the song, and I was like, wait a damn minute. I'm like, is this song in 3/4? So I was like, I had to go back and I listened to it again. I was like, oh my gosh, this is a waltz song. This song has like that 3/4, that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, and that just made sense for the world to me. It was, again, and that's really all I wrote, was that like once the melody switches, it goes into like that really like pretty like waltz music where it's like, okay, we're in a ballroom, we're dancing type of thing. I feel like that does fit with the whole like castle vibe.
Right.
It also gives me like stealth mission too, you know,
totally,
like that kind of like, okay, we're sneaking into this castle type of thing. But again, a great soundtrack. It just, that waltz thing really like blew me away. I was like, oh wait, no, this is 3/4. Like, I just it never clicked. It never clicked until I listened to it the other day. And I've listened to this song so many times, and I'm thinking that like when I first listened to it, I maybe didn't catch it because one of the percussions is just straight on like every single beat. So I think when I was listening to it the first couple times, that's what I was listening for. And I never realized like the actual melody of it. It's like, you know, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
So, you're so right, dude. Yeah, you're so right about that, because like the song doesn't really reveal that about itself until that bit at the end that you're talking about. Like when it starts, it's this like, nasty stealth mission. You're talking about minor key lead, like feels dangerous, you know, like it kind of has, you know, because this is a dangerous area in the game. Like there's like icicles and enemies everywhere. You got those damn rails everywhere,
the thorns everywhere. Oh my gosh, them damn rails. Jesus.
Like it's a difficult, probably the first like big difficulty spike.
Definitely,
I would say in the game. But then like so like the song tonally has that vibe when it starts, but then you're right, like it shifts into this pretty quiet bit with like almost like soft bell sounds. Kind of lets you sit with like the stillness of it, like as the song kind of goes into the end of it. I really like how layered and different this song is. And you're right, like it's like a waltz song that they like have two different things inside of the canvas of waltz.
And again, it really does just go back to the central theme with this, of like combining all these different little elements and just making them work together in such a great way. Like that's the whole reason I love the soundtrack so much, because it really is just the epitome of like, okay, let's take all these things, these really good obscure little things, and let's just make them work. Like, let's just see what happens, you know?
So cool. Yeah, it's great stuff. Everybody, again, go listen to the full soundtrack because it's top to bottom. We played a lot of it for you here today, but there's plenty left.
Yeah, for sure.
That you haven't heard. So go listen to it. Okay, well, JB, we're kind of getting towards the end of the show. Let's move into the YouTube comment oversharing corner, which is probably my favorite segment of the show. Truth be told, this, for those who don't know, is the section of the show where we read off any funny, memorable, interesting, or otherwise insane comments that we stumbled across while grabbing songs for the episode. I put a bunch of them in here, and we can kind of trade them off if you want to. Okay. I know there's a last one that you found.
Yes, I giggled so hard when I seen this. I was at work and I just screamed because it was so funny.
Go ahead and take that one first, then. Let's
okay, I'll read the entire. Okay, YouTube user Robert Anthony Colin commented on "Take Upper Fruit" 5 years ago, which "Take Upper Fruit" is the track from the very first World. I believe it. I don't remember if it's the middle track or the day track or the boss track, but he just said, I fight people in the hood to this. And I don't know why. I listened to it again and I was like, nah, I can see it. I was like, nah, I definitely could I could fight a couple people in the hood to this. I was like, I feel that. I was like, yeah, I get it. So I just, oh my goodness, I giggled so hard when I read that.
It's so funny that you pull that. One of my favorite JB moments ever. We've known each other for a few years now, JB. I think you already know what I'm going to say.
Exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, one of my favorite JB moments actually happened at Extra Life last year in person. You're talking about Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and JB just goes, I was putting belt to ass.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Hey, that's just what I do. I put belt to ass, you know what I'm saying? Look, I love me a good fighting game, and when I seen that, I was like, nah, yeah, I could.
I still think about that. That's an all-timer JB quote right there.
Hell yeah.
Really good. Okay, I've got this one here from YouTube user Joey Full 64, I guess, commented on the beginning of Adventure 9 years ago. Okay, that's how roosters crow in Japan, winky face.
Hey, that's exactly how they do it.
Because that song starts with that cuckoo or whatever. Yeah. So yeah, that made me laugh. Okay, go ahead and take this next one.
All right, YouTube user BMW PD 2TT. That's crazy.
Unhinged username.
Yeah, unhinged username. Commented on Passion and Silent Seas 4 years ago. Passionate, yeah. Silent, not so much. Very much. Yes.
That was such a it was almost like it reminded me of a Ford commercial or something.
Yeah.
Passionate, yeah. Silent, not so much.
To drive a Ford F-150.
Yeah. Built Ford tough. Yeah. Absolutely. YouTube user BrickBuilt8312 commented on Bossa Nova of Briny Air 2 years ago. Pretty recent. 2 years is pretty recent for a 22-year-old game. I'm looking for the video featuring a robot in a sailor's cap and an anime girl at a pool with this music. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? Already a crazy comment.
Yeah.
To which YouTube user Marigio300X replied 1 year ago, so a year later, I know what you're talking about and I'm also looking for it. This blew my mind. The fact that there is somebody looking for this weird anime girl music video using Bossa Nova of Briny Air.
Yeah.
And the fact that there's somebody else also looking for it.
Yeah. No, I don't know what this video is. I low-key want to look for this video. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of did y'all find it?
Yeah. And then you know what's even funnier thinking about it is the first comment was 2 years ago. And then the next comment was a year after. So somebody else went to this video and was like, oh my gosh, this person's looking for it. I'm also looking for it.
I found my kindred spirit. We're both looking for this robot in a sailor cap anime girl at a pool music.
That's such a, oh my gosh. That's such a weird, just obscure pull. Weird, obscure pull.
YouTube's a crazy place, man.
Yeah, man.
Okay, we got one last comment. Go ahead and take it.
All right, YouTube user Jammy Cho Cho. Is it Jamie Cho? We're going to go
Jamie Cho, Jamie
Okay.
Chu, I don't know.
Okay, Jamie Chu commented on Bang Bang Bighorn's Explosion 6 years ago. Walla Walla Bing Bang Pow. Get stuck in... Walla Walla Bing Bang Pow. Get stuck in my head, so I sing, and my dad be like, "Stop it, get some help." That's real. That's real.
That's real. I mean, sometimes you just walk around the house singing some Billy Hatcher, and your dad might tell you to stop it and get some help. I got a kick out of Walla Walla Bing Bang Pow.
Definitely. Walla Walla Bing Bang Pow is the highlight of that comment, for sure.
That rules. Yep, very good. Okay, we have a couple of other voicemails, so we're gonna play them. Both of them have song requests, so we will play both of the voicemails. We'll listen to the songs, and then we'll give some notes on those, and then we'll wrap up the show. So this first voicemail, actually, a little bit of backstory here. Parker, longtime listener of the show, called in and left a voicemail, and it kind of is addressed to like me specifically at the end. So Matt actually chopped out the ending segment because I was not there for the last episode. It was Matt and his wife. Mm-hmm. So he cut out the ending segment that is addressed to me so that we could play it on this episode that I am on, if that makes sense. So, all right, let's hear from Parker.
Seth, react to Indie Cross. It's a crossover between indie games like Shovel Knight, Cuphead, Celeste, and One Shot, and Hollow Knight, and Ultra Kill. Did you play Ultra Kill before? Choose a random song from its soundtrack, by the way. Okay, bye.
Thanks, Parker. Have you ever heard of Indie Cross, JB?
The name sounds familiar.
Never heard of it.
I have, no.
Yeah, I guess it's an animated series that is like a crossover thing with a bunch of indie, like Parker says. It got Shovel Knight and like Undertale and Cuphead and stuff.
Yeah, no, this looks looking at it, this does look familiar. I think I have seen this before. Yeah.
It looks cool. I'd never heard of it, nor had I ever heard of Ultra Kill, which Parker also mentioned. I play a lot of indie games. I'd never heard of Ultra Kill. And so I looked at the soundtrack, and I did grab a random song as requested by Parker from the soundtrack, and we'll listen to that and talk about it. So thanks for sending that in, Parker. Let's go ahead and hear from Presto real quick as well. Here's Presto.
Hello, Bit Harmony. Prepare your holes. Because I've got a song for you all. Recently I've been playing a little game that I've already talked about in the Discord that I've been playing, but that game, of course, is Neon White.
Mm-hmm.
And this game is incredible, and I love it. I cannot stop playing it. I'm kind of addicted. So I'm going to throw in Vainglorious Chorus from Neon White as a song, because it is a jam, and I can't get it out of my head. This is very related to Nintendo. In the summer of Nintendo, I was going to choose a Nintendo song for this episode, but I got Neon Whited. So enjoy, and hope you have a great rest of the episode, I guess. Wah.
I appreciate the wah at the end. Thanks, Presto. Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes. You have the intention of doing something else with your life, and then you get Neon Whited. It just happens like that.
Yeah, it just happens.
So, okay, thanks, Presto. So let's go ahead and take a break then for Parker and Presto's song request. We're taking a break for Dead Heat Pulse, A Heart of Cold, from Ultra Kill, and Vainglorious Chorus from Neon White, and we'll be back. Okay, that was Dead Heat Pulse, A Heart of Cold, and Vainglorious Chorus. JB, have you ever heard either of these songs before?
No, I had never heard of either of these songs.
Yeah, like Ultra Kill was new to me, never heard of it. I was listening to some of the selections from the soundtrack, and I found this one, Dead Heat Pulse. It's honestly kind of a mess, but like I kind of like in a way that I find kind of charming. Like it's kind of like late night 3 a.m. hazy, like kind of fever dream coded, like I don't know. I like the arpeggiated like synth behind like the heavy like double bass drum and like electric guitar and stuff. I don't know. I kind of like the vibe of it, even though I have no idea what the context is in the game.
and I think the game was Ultra Kill, right? I feel like I had heard of it before. I had seen like little snippets of gameplay here and there and stuff like that, unless I'm confusing it with another game. But no, like I feel the exact same way. It's chaotic in a way, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, no, but literally exactly what you said is exactly what I said. So
yeah, very, very chaotic song, kind of all over the place, but I kind of liked that about it. That doesn't always work for me. Like a kind of messy, like all over the place song, the just wall of noise, like that doesn't always vibe with me, but I did like this track. It was pretty good. Yeah. So thanks for the shout, Parker. That's one thing that I love about voicemails is when people turn me on to new music, you know? So I appreciate that shout out, Parker. Now, JB, you know, Neon White is that's one of my favorite games of all time.
Of course.
I think you've dabbled in it a little bit, haven't you?
I haven't yet. I know we had talked about it because I had bought it. I know I was texting you when I bought it. But I was like, you know what? Because in my head, I was like, oh, I'm going to go ahead and like try and get to the point where I can get this PC so that, because I just wanted to be on the leaderboard with you guys. That was really the only reason. But I was like, let me wait. And then I just never ended up getting to it.
Yeah, so I love this game. So anytime somebody like discovers Neon White, I'm like, hell yeah, man. Yeah. Presto's been playing Neon White lately, and yeah, this is definitely Vainglorious Chorus. Definitely one of the most iconic Neon White songs. You know, it's just great. Like it has like a kind of hazy, scary, ethereal kind of vibe, very fast, very DMB, just like the whole game's OST is like that. I love the the little like audio, like the little vocal chop in it that's just, I think it's just saying like white, like I just, something about that like always sticks out to me. And one thing that's really impressive about Neon White's music, and this is another game that Matt and I could definitely do a full episode on. Neon White's soundtrack, like, you're going to be doing runs over and over and over again. So it's really important that you never get sick of the music, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And even what you just said, like with the little vocal chop, again, it's one of those things where it keeps you interested, keeps you pulled in, it keeps you like, okay, what are they saying? Because you'll sit there and listen to it like 3 or 4 times, and then you maybe end up psyching yourself out and be like, no, they're not saying white. It sounds like something else now, you know?
Yeah, really, it's like I said, the that soundtrack is another one where like you really should just listen to the whole thing. It's fantastic. It's by Machine Girl. Really, really good stuff. Okay, I mean that's pretty much it. We just have a couple of other things to do here before we wrap up the episode. So as a reminder, if you want to send in voicemails to the show, you can send it to either bitharmonypod@gmail.com, or if you want to like send it in from your PC or whatever, you can call in to 216-230-8540 if you want to call in and leave a voicemail from your phone. You do need to keep those to less than 3 minutes or the voicemail will cut you off. Of course, if you want to text the number as well, you can, and we'll have Bot Harmony read it as well. So go ahead and do that if you ever want to call in for the show. And it doesn't have to be related to what we're talking about, like as, Ultra Kill and Neon White, we'll listen to whatever, man. So go ahead and do that. Check out the Discord, join the Discord. You can sound off on show topics. You can join the All In community, chat with people about the show, music, whatever you want to do. Before we wrap up here, JB, I do want to give you a chance because I'm going to thank the patrons. We've got haikus and stuff, and then we'll kind of say goodnight. But I want to give you a chance to point people in your direction, dude. Like, how can people follow you and your music? I'm going to have links in the show notes. But tell them one last time where they can find you.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me. First off, this
Thank
was
you,
really
dude.
dope to just sit here and talk about this little game that means a lot to me. In this soundtrack, which again is kind of the backbone to me growing up and just loving music the way I do.
Yes,
so
sir.
I appreciate you, letting me come on your platform to, just talk about this with you.
Hell yeah, dude.
But for anyone out there, again, I am a music producer. I do actually put out my own music as well. So if you do want to find me, it should be PME on literally any streaming platform you want to go to. Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Deezer, all of that. Like, I'm everywhere. I have the chance to put my stuff in Roblox if I really wanted to, but I didn't want to do that.
Hell yeah. Okay.
But it's
Get you
weird.
in Dress to Impress.
Yeah, I know, right?
It
was weird. It was something with like it was something where like they get a part of something. I have to read it again to make sure I'm not tripping.
Yeah.
But anyway, like I said, PM me on all streaming platforms. But if you do want to follow me on socials, you can find me at pme.jib on Instagram, and then pmejib on Twitter. I do have two newer tapes that came out not so long ago, Me, Myself, and I Deluxe, which is the one that I dropped in January. But I do also have another one, the Hoodland Mania Mixtape Volume 3, which is a collaboration with the Hoodlands that I do. That, again, both really fire soundtracks. I would love if you went and go listen to them. So yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, like I said, I'll have links to everything in the show notes. Check out JB's. Like, genuinely, I'm not even just saying this because you're my friend. Like, I listen to your stuff all the time, dude. Like, it's great. If you're looking for something that's like especially great, just beats, like to have like as a vibe, like in the background when you're just going throughout your day. Like, I'll put you on when I'm like cooking.
Amen.
Such a good vibe, dude.
Thank you. I strive to create low-key the exact same thing like that Billy Hatcher has kind of done for me, like creating that soundtrack to somebody's life. That's kind of the exact same thing that I kind of go for. Someone said a quote, and it's like, music is what you paint like your time with, and I was like, oh no, that makes a lot of sense.
Good quote.
Yeah, you paint your time with music. So I was like, yeah, no, that's definitely what I try and do,
That's a bar right there, dude.
Yeah,
hell yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah, really good. Okay, well, thanks again for taking the time out. I'm gonna go ahead and thank our patrons real quick. Thank you all so much for supporting at patreon.com/allinmedia. Again, you can check that out. You can get a 7-day free trial to the Golden Banana tier. That gets you access to the exclusive minis that we're doing. Again, we're putting these out like every other week. If you're a patron, Bit Harmony has been like a weekly show for y'all. So check out the Patreon and join the ranks of these fine folks. Thank you to our Triforce tier supporters, Adam Caparello, Bowza, Quagmire, Dan and Luma, Danny Linahosa, SAZ, Foolish Fuji, John Cummins, Josh Vaughn, Ligerwoods 330, and Uncle Randy, of course. And thank you to our Golden Banana tier supporters, Big Dogs Only, Bill Tucker, Gamer Jason, Liam D, Marcus O'Neill, Old Drake, Phelan Ward, Rob Yapel, Shy Guy, thank you, Shy Guy, Sean Ashton, Sparky, and Steven Keller. We really appreciate y'all for your continued support over there. Like I said, genuinely means the world. Help support us and everything we do over here with this show and everything we do on our network. We appreciate it. The next full episode of Bit Harmony will be on the 24th. Matt and I will be back talking about Donkey Kong Bonanza. However, we are doing a Kickle Cubicle mini episode coming out sometime next week exclusively for the Patreon. One of my favorite games. Really excited for that. And that is pretty much it. JB, we close out the show usually with some haikus. Did you have a chance to write a haiku?
I did, actually. And it's funny how like seamlessly it came. I was like, oh, okay. Because haiku is 575, right?
Yeah.
With the yeah, it was very like seamless how it came. I thought I was going to really sit there and think really hard about it, but I made the first one and I was like, well, I made the one and I was like, oh no, this was like easier. And then I tried to make a second. I was like, well, I guess it's not that easy.
It's kind of a fun little practice. We started doing this a while ago, and it's just kind of like a fun way to kind of like, I don't know, crystallize the show or something.
Yeah. So yeah, I got one.
Hit me with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's rolling egg, hatching in the morning sun. Cock-a-doodle-doo.
I love that. Dude, it's so funny how similar our haikus ended up.
Oh my gosh.
Listen to this.
Okay.
And we did not consult each other, but we wound up with actually a pretty similar vibe with our haikus. Okay, here's mine. Roll eggs with courage. Hatch to welcome in the sun. Shine away the dark.
Yeah, no, we need to get out of each other's head, man. What's going on? This is freaky.
That's crazy.
This is weird.
Yeah, that's actually crazy. Even when Matt and I do our haikus, we normally are not like so in line like that. That's actually wild.
We're just the same person, you know what I'm saying? That's just
We're
the same person.
It's the same picture.
Yeah.
JB, thanks again, dude. I really appreciate you making some time. Love you. Love all your stuff. And this has been a true delight, dude. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Again, thank you for having me. I love you as well. You know what I'm saying? Weeze's family and stuff. So, yeah, of course.
Yes,
I had to
sir.
come on here and do this, you know?
Yes, sir.
And also,
Absolutely.
anytime you want me back, I'll definitely hop back on 100%.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll for sure. We'll find a way to get you back on here.
Absolutely. For sure.
Taking you guys out this episode, we're going to play you Chant This Charm, theme of Giant Egg. Interestingly enough, so this just felt like the right song to like outro the episode. This is a bit harmony ass song. It's got horns, it's got like the pleasant vocals and stuff. I really wanted to leave people with like a good feeling,
Yeah.
with this song. So fun fact, this is the one song in the game that's not composed by the two main composers, Nanba and Ohtani. This is composed by a musician called Yukari Fresh, who's a popular electronic musician in Japan in the 90s. And it's so funny if you listen to the lyrics, like, it's so clear that she must have just seen like Billy Hatcher's design and just like wanted to make it this song about like having an earnest, like a good start to your day and having like a nice breakfast.
For sure. Because like even a while ago, I was reading the lyrics to it and I was like, yeah, you could tell like there was not like a lot of effort put into it. And if there was a lot of effort, it was definitely the like, I barely know what I'm saying, so I'm just gonna kind of go with it. Type of
I
thing.
kind of love it though. Like, I kind of love how like I don't know, I don't know how much information they had when they were like commissioned to write this.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was literally just, here's Billy Hatcher. He's like a little rooster guy. He's in Morningland, so sing a song about breakfast, I guess.
Yeah.
And
She probably seen it and was like, "Oh, eggs, breakfast. Yeah, we can go with that."
Yeah, totally. And so I wanted to, there's a lyric here that I actually thought was really kind of like sweet. And it's, every morning is a new morning. Don't worry. Don't say I'm sorry. We make a new start every day.
Yeah.
And I was like, hell yeah, man. We do make a new start every day.
That's some good motivation. That's a great way to start your morning. And
hell yeah, man. Yep. Start your morning with some Billy Hatcher. This is Chant This Charm, theme of Giant Egg. Again, we're back on August 24th, Matt and I, for DK Bonanza. And we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.